So welcome to the Data Explorer's Market Update with me, Will Duff Gordon. So a high profile little argument going on, well not so little, between Google and Microsoft, with Google claiming that Microsoft's search engine Bing not only looks completely like Google these days, and I was surprised when I actually compared them that they do look very similar, but also that the results and the rankings are pretty much exactly the same. And Google did a little experiment and so seemed to have caught Microsoft in the act of copying their algorithm. So that made us look at, is Google a subject of short selling? Well, clearly with its Android being so popular, its Chrome browser being so popular, and it being such a massive company, it's not. 0.5% of it is short, and in Microsoft another 0.5%. But it is rising, so short interest is pretty low in these big names. But the link for the story is we wanted to do something about the recent IPO from a company called Demand Media. And you'll understand the link between Google and Microsoft in a second. I was trying to understand what on earth does Demand Media do, and I read their website. It was pretty unhelpful, I thought. And then our CEO came downstairs, sorry, not CEO, COO, Jonathan, who's our sort of guru on all things internet and web related, and he then proceeded to basically tell me that Demand Media is one of these companies through a thing called eHow, that is sort of cluttering up the web with content written by people who are being paid a bit for writing it, which enables people to so for these things to create sort of Wikipedias, but sort of for a commercial benefit. For instance, type in, like you might be doing on Valentine's Day, how to cook a delicious roast chicken. Now you're looking probably for something by Raymond Blanc or Gordon Ramsay or one of the sort of legends to help you impress your wife or girlfriend or whatever. And in actual fact, look down the list and quite soon you'll find something written by the sort of paid content people, where it might be somebody in their living room trying to tell you how to deal with your roast chicken, which is not really what you want. So these are so-called content farms, and Google, obviously Bing, because Bing copies Google, are picking up this content, whereas you want to kind of have Wikipedia, which is properly edited, and the things from the cookbooks by the professionals. And Demand Media's got a 1.7 billion market cap, and it's kind of pretty good, and it's kind of getting very, very popular. We think it's going to be a sort of a Marmite stock, because some people will think that soon Google and Microsoft will be able to kind of delete these things from their search engines. Some would say that limits the power of the web, and sort of edited search engines, Ask didn't work very well, or did but didn't, sort of like rather is against the spirit of it. There's a company called Bleco that's come out, and they have said they're going to create a search engine which will not include kind of artificial people appearing in the rankings. Anyway, why am I so far away from our short selling data? Well, Demand Media has only been listed for a few days. 1% of it, well, 1.5% of it is already owned by institutional investors, which shows that they're buying into it, but 1.3% of that is being borrowed. Is that short interest, or is that fails coverage around the IPO? Well, not sure, but definitely worth watching. I think it's going to be a stock which short sellers target and institutional investors also like, so worth watching. Nielsen Holdings is a slightly different company that IPO'd recently. That has 1% of its shares already in the hands of funds who lend, and 0.7% of the shares on loan. And they basically track consumer behavior and sell that data to Coca-Cola, Unilever and Procter & Gamble. And so we've already got data on them too. Anyway, I learned something today about paid content, and I'm going to be making sure that I don't go to the wrong website listing through a search engine due to the success of somebody like Demand Media. If you'd like to read the report, it is at dataexplorers.com/news.